Disarming through strategic weakness and vulnerability is an art that requires carefully revealing aspects of yourself that suggest sensitivity or fragility, which in turn dissolves the defenses of your target. True vulnerability in this context isn't about exposing your deepest insecurities. Rather, it's about presenting a select form of openness that makes you appear approachable, human, and relatable. When someone perceives you as possessing a hidden softness, they're more likely to let down their own guard and open themselves emotionally. It creates a balance where they feel safe in the interaction, sensing that you aren't entirely invincible, but share in the vulnerability of the human experience. The power of this approach lies in how it contrasts with the more mysterious and enigmatic elements of seduction. When the seducer, who may have previously appeared somewhat aloof or powerful, suddenly allows glimpses of a more tender side, it causes a subtle but profound shift in the target's perception. This controlled exposure of vulnerability can make them feel as though they have access to a hidden part of you, a privilege that few are granted. In their eyes, they are witnessing a rare glimpse into the real you, which often triggers a sense of intimacy and empathy that can deepen attachment. Strategic vulnerability also works by playing on a person's natural desire to protect or nurture. Most people have an instinctive reaction to care for others who seem slightly vulnerable or emotionally in need. When you share a small, controlled personal story of struggle or admit to a flaw that isn't overly damaging, it arouses the target's empathy. They begin to see you not as an untouchable figure, but as someone who is reachable, someone with emotions and experiences that mirror their own. This helps them feel more at ease, as they're no longer feeling outshined or intimidated by your presence. Instead, they feel on a level playing field, or even protective. However, the critical aspect of this tactic is moderation. Over-disclosing or appearing perpetually vulnerable can quickly shift the dynamic from allure to neediness. Seduction thrives on a sense of strength and magnetism. Too much vulnerability can diminish that. The ideal is to present your vulnerability as a momentary lapse, a small crack in an otherwise confident persona. By allowing this vulnerability to surface and then regaining composure, you show resilience and strength, qualities that reinforce your allure. Timing is also essential. This moment of vulnerability is best introduced after you have already established an image of desirability and strength. At that point, the vulnerability comes as an unexpected turn, which makes it all the more impactful. For example, in a moment when the target expresses their own challenges or frustrations, a shared sentiment from your side, a small, relatable challenge of your own, creates a sense of mutual understanding and connection. This carefully chosen vulnerability acts almost like a mirror, reflecting back to them something of their own emotional world, which makes the seduction feel more personal and grounded. Using this technique also requires a level of emotional intelligence, as it's crucial to choose a form of vulnerability that resonates with the target. It may be a story about a time you were uncertain, a moment when you questioned yourself, or a subtle admission of a fear or anxiety. The specific choice should align with what you've discerned about your target's own insecurities or struggles. When they see that you, too, have encountered similar issues, it closes the emotional distance between you, creating an intimate bond. Physical cues can enhance this sense of vulnerability as well. Softening your voice, averting your gaze slightly, or breaking eye contact momentarily can all signal openness and invite the target into a more relaxed emotional space. Similarly, allowing your body language to relax or adopting a slightly less confident posture, even briefly, communicates that you're letting them into a personal space. These nonverbal signals are subtle but powerful, reinforcing the words and stories you share, which ultimately make the vulnerability feel genuine and not simply part of an act. The ultimate goal of strategic vulnerability is to establish a foundation of trust. This is crucial in any seduction because trust makes it easier for the target to become emotionally invested. When someone senses that you are both strong and capable, yet have soft spots or insecurities, they feel encouraged to reveal their own vulnerabilities in return. This reciprocal sharing creates a deeper emotional connection that moves the seduction beyond superficial attraction. In closing, disarming through strategic weakness and vulnerability serves to humanize the seducer and establish an emotional bridge with the target. It is an essential aspect of seduction that, when executed with finesse and balance, opens up an emotional pathway that makes the target more likely to invest in the relationship. Through this tactic, the seducer becomes not only desirable, but also approachable and relatable, someone the target feels uniquely connected to. This controlled vulnerability deepens the attraction, binding the target with threads of empathy, trust, and an unspoken understanding that lingers even when words are absent.